think my baby hot. Don't speak to any moment. Product of her environment. Shout out the global woman. Can't box her in with any trend. Oh, she's a global woman. Call Fire Marshal Bill. Like, let me tell you something. Flawless, beautiful. Follow codes down to her toes. Cutie codes, picking rolls with the flow. Slam dunking all the goals. Silvers for the novice and golds for the pros.
What's going on, everybody out there in TV land, on YouTube and on Facebook Live? We come to you tonight to interrupt your regular scheduled program. Hey, y'all, we got a great group of guests tonight. Y'all gonna learn something. Y'all gonna be intrigued. It's gonna be a really good show. But before we get to all that, hey, Facebook, we talk about this every single week. Do me a huge favor. There's a link right in the chat section. Click that link. Shoot on over to YouTube and watch us live on YouTube. All right? Hey, YouTube, do me a favor. Click that like button. It's the thumbs up. And then slide your finger on over to the subscribe button and subscribe first. All right? And don't forget to click the all so you get all the notification when we're going live. All right? So click the like, then shoot over there and click the subscribe button. And also, guys, right now, if you're watching right now, click the share. It's going to ask you where you want to share to. If you got Facebook, let's put Facebook feed. So click the share button right now. All right. Also, I pinned my Stop Playing Apparel link right in the chat section. Also, like I always say every week, support starts at home. Come out and support your boy. All right. Check me out. Even if you don't like what I got, hey, still shop with me. Support is support. All right, y'all. Thank you very much. Also, if you like what we're doing and you want to donate to us, there's a QR code right on the screen. All monetary gifts are appreciated. We thank you in advance for them. And if you cannot scan the QR code because you're using your mobile device, there is a cash tag right at the bottom of the screen. Our cash tag is $Nutz, N-U-T-Z, Boltz, B-O-L-T-Z 1. Again, $Nutz, Boltz 1. We made it real simple for y'all, all right? And last but not least, I'm sorry, y'all. We doing something new. Yep, we got something new we're doing. Every time we hit the 200 milestone mark with subscribers, we were going to the chat and find 2 people and send them a gift. But you must be a subscriber to participate. All right. And with that being said, welcome to Nuts and Bolts of Life. My name is Edmund Chapman. I am the CEO of Stop Playing Apparel, and I'm from South Carolina.
My name is Kyra. I'm from California.
My name is Obi. I don't have a clothing line, but I'm from North Carolina.
Good. Welcome, crew. Hey, so guys, we have some people with us tonight. So I'm gonna go, Kyra, the lady next to you. Can you introduce yourself?
Is that me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm Clover. I'm from North Carolina.
Welcome, Clover. Welcome. I gotta do you right. I do all my people right. Kyra know I'm about to do. I gotta get y'all right. I don't slack on everybody, get you right. I apologize. Lady next to Clover, can you introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Melanie Little, and I'm from Chicago.
Welcome, Melody. Welcome.
Thank you.
Young lady at the bottom, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Rachel Turner. I'm a brand strategist and designer, and I'm from Chicago.
Welcome, Rachel. Last but not least, Big Dog, can you introduce yourself?
What up? What it do? My name is Sean Q from Thousand Wear Productions. I'm from Chester, South Carolina.
Welcome, Sean.
Wait a minute. Why did he get that and the ladies got the clap?
Hey, man.
HR is in the building. Just letting y'all know.
I'm just curious.
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry. The noise is going. I couldn't hear you. What you say?
Can you mute her?
I could. Don't start, y'all. Don't start today. Don't start. We got guests, y'all. We got some guests. Don't start. Hey, Obi, can you tell the people what today's topic is about?
Today's topic is about we highlighting some entrepreneurs across the nation, giving them a chance to shine, and tell a little bit about what their businesses are like, how they became entrepreneurs and stuff like that. I won't dig into it right now, but that's what it's about.
All right, y'all. So, y'all, we talking to entrepreneurs. So, everybody out there that's thinking about being an entrepreneur, take a listen to these people. So, we're going to go with my man, Sean Q first. Sean, tell the people, what you do, and how did you get started in that?
Well, I run a production company. I'm a photographer, videographer, and I'm also an actor. Initially got started back in 2013 when I got out of the military. I just didn't want to go back into the workforce, and I felt like I needed to use my talents to, provide for me. Really didn't have the drive at the time, so I jumped into driving trucks until I got fired. I ain't gonna lie, I was gonna make up some story, but I got fired. I got a ticket. I had been in 2 accidents this year while I was driving trucks. So that plus the ticket, they was like, we gotta let you go. So it was cool. I wasn't even upset afterwards. I just decided at that moment I wasn't going back to work. And we dove head first into the business, and life's been lifing, as they say.
All right. Okay. Good. Next, we're gonna go to Miss Clover Ford. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yes, I am a filmmaker. I have a production company that I just opened up April 1st. My Chocolate Films. We are having our launch on next Saturday in Charlotte, North Carolina. How did I get started in the film world? So I went through a severe depression. This may be TMI, but it's the truth, and maybe it'll save someone on the other side. So I went through a severe depression in 2019, and I birthed something new out of that depression, and it created a platform on Instagram to embrace women of color, to embrace their dark skin. That platform grew to about 30,000 people. And from that, I created a short series, and that was accepted into the Charlotte Black Film Festival here in Charlotte. And just being amongst so many creatives, it compelled me to continue writing, producing, and here I am today.
Okay. There you go, Kyra. Give it to her.
Thank you.
Next, Melanie, can you tell us a little bit about your stuff, about your story a little bit?
Yeah, so I don't really know how it all started. I guess it's really been there since I was a child. But I kind of bought my first house when I was 24, and I didn't know what I was doing or whatever. I just signed the paperwork and brought some money to the closing table. Fast forward about 4 years ago, I was actually a stay-at-home mom. And once my last child got older, I was like, oh, I don't want to go back to work. I was a paralegal for like a very long time. And, I started getting into social media and, fell into I found some information about investing and how to get into it, and basically how to leverage properties that you may already own, or property that your family own. And that's what I did. I leveraged the first property I ever bought, and I used that to scale my business. And I turned one house into 10 basically in 2 years. And then after that, I got licensed, and yeah, that's basically the story.
Oh wow, that's deep. I got to use some horn too. That was pretty good, man. So Kyra won't be mad. I can give the ladies horns. Rachel, can you tell us about yourself, Rachel?
Sure. So my background is finance. I started off in corporate and was having a great experience until the company I worked for went through a merger. And the new company culture just was totally different, very traditional American, if y'all know what I mean. So just from, a not great experience from that and some resulting health issues, I decided to basically take an inventory of my skill set and to figure out, okay, what can I do right now so I can make money and quit this job? So I started off doing events. Roseman Media, before it was Roseman Media, was Roseman Events. And from marketing and branding my events company, people saw how well that was going, asked me to start helping, and I realized I could get events to marketing and branding which at the time seemed like I could scale a marketing and branding business faster and farther than an events business. So from starting off in events, I ended up going 100% into marketing and branding.
All right. Okay, Rachel. So Kyra, we're gonna let you get the first. I'm sorry, Rachel. I gotta do you right. My bad. Kyra, I'm gonna be a gentleman tonight. Let you have the first question.
Oh, now you want to be a gentleman. Okay, great. All right. First question for you all. First of all, like, shouts out to all you all doing your Black Excellent. Congratulations on having successful businesses, and thank you for being part of our panel tonight. My first question is, are you the first entrepreneur in your family? Or did you pattern yourself from another member or like a mentor? So are you the first entrepreneur in your family? And was it a family member that helped you get started, or a mentor that you looked up that provided inspiration or guidance?
Clover, we're gonna throw it to you first. Go ahead, Clover.
No, I'm not the first entrepreneur in my family. I think there's quite a few of us on both sides of my family. And did I have a mentor? No. I researched my way through to find my way. Now I have a mentor, now that I'm in the business, just to learn a little bit more than what I know now. But no, I did not have a mentor in the beginning, and I'm not the only entrepreneur.
Thank you.
Sean Q. Thank you, Clover.
Are we talking legally or illegally? Because
whatever you
however you
feel
want
like
to put it,
sharing.
Whatever you want to share.
Keep it as real as you want.
As we had a lot of examples of people always getting money, so a certain standard of living is what I was used to. As far as in entertainment, the only person I can think of was my grandfather. He was part of the gospel choir. I actually got his album cover over here to the side. He was part of the gospel harmonizer. So as far as going out there and entertaining the masses, I would say my grandfather. But other than that, no, it's just a bunch of get money people in my family. That's it.
All right. Thank you, Sean. We're gonna shoot up to Melanie. What about you?
I would say no. Yes, I am sort of the first entrepreneur. Yes and no. When it comes to a real estate space, my family owned a lot of real estate growing up, but they always had traditional jobs as well. So I'm the first to actually make it a business, and I fully earn my lifestyle in real estate. So I would say in that aspect, yeah, I kind of branched off from my family in that I don't have the backing of a W-2 or an employer. And I forgot the question, or did I answer all of them?
Did you have a mentor? I think she said.
Oh, no. So I didn't have a mentor. Everything that I know and that I'm learning, because I'm not finished learning, it's basically self-taught, self-learned. I'm always reading and expanding and paying for courses and masterminds, and it never stops. So actually mentor people, but I don't have a mentor just yet. Maybe I'm thinking about it, but I haven't yet.
We're doing good with 10 properties and no mentor, so.
Thank you.
Right. Exactly.
Doing something right.
I see her. I'll be seeing her on social media. Sold another house. I'm like, okay, check her out. I know this girl too. Rachel.
For real.
I'm not the first. My dad, we had a similar journey where he started off in corporate, and he had a franchise business for about 5 years. Some things happened with that beyond his control. So, he had to re-enter the workforce. But in regards to like building a business from scratch, in regards to building a business like with no structure or not knowing, how to do it. And my dad actually somewhat discouraged me in the beginning from his experience as an entrepreneur and the things that can happen, systematically that's beyond our control. So I'm the first in regards to doing it this long and actually being able to sustain and build a business from scratch. And I haven't had a true mentor, but I feel like, God has always blessed that mentor role person at certain points along my journey, like right when I needed it. So no, but there are some key people who, right at the right moment gave me a certain piece of advice or encouragement, as I tried to grow things.
Okay. Y'all all got some interesting stories. Hey, Facebook, we about to really ask them some questions and try to dig deep for all of us that might want to be an entrepreneur. But I'm about to tune off of Facebook. So if y'all want to watch the rest of this episode and actually learn something, this is a learning episode. Learn something from these people. Come on over to YouTube. The link is right there. I'm about to tune off and ask these guys some more questions to find out how and when and where did their journey go. All right, peace out, y'all. Hey, Obi,
And for
you got a
those of
question
you,
for the people?
and
I'm
before
sorry, go
Obi
ahead,
says
sorry.
the question, I just want to say we have our call-in number that's at the bottom of the screen. If you had a question that you wanted to ask these fine young entrepreneurs, the number is 704-891-9560. Again, 704-891-9560 if you have a question that you would like to ask any of our panel members. Obi?
All right. The question that I have for each of you is, what motivates you to do what you do and be successful?
Y'all can
I
just
go
jump in.
first.
Go ahead, Sean.
Okay.
Yep.
I got a 1-year-old son that I've been waiting and waiting and waiting on his arrival for a very long time in my life. And I don't need no other motivation than that. Like being able to be home with him when I want to and need to. That's the greatest blessing in the world. I need my own schedule. So that's my motivation.
For me,
Chloe, want to jump into this?
I
Oh, go ahead, Rachel.
was gonna say, for me, it's similar. I have a 5-year-old, and she was in preschool this year, and preschool is from 8:10 a.m. until 10:50 a.m. And I don't know what job I could have had that would have let me either not work, during that time, or be able to stop working and go pick her up every day from school. So she definitely motivates me to keep going, to be, have that flexibility as a parent. And then also just setting an example for her that, whatever she wants to do, she can do that. She doesn't necessarily have to do what the world tells her to do.
I like that. She's a strong black woman. Take charge. I like that. That's good. Chloe, you want to dive into this?
I think for me, mine is a little bit the same, but I have grown adults. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I was saying that I think that for me, mine is similar, but I have grown adults. My kids are 24 and 25, well, 23 and 25. But as they navigate through life, they want to be entrepreneurs. I've never wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I was compelled, as I said before, to jump into the film industry. But also, I want to set the path for my kids. So if they have any questions as it pertains to entrepreneurship, I can give them those questions because I've already taken the hard road for them. So my kids are my motivation. And then also film is my passion.
Okay. Melanie, you want to dive into this one?
Yeah. So for me, it's a combination, right? Like, I don't know if you guys have heard of Into Your Childhood Wounds. So for me, it's tied back into my childhood wound. Like, I grew up poor. I grew up a foster child. I grew up without a lot of things. And I just always had it in my mind, like, when it's my turn, when I'm up, I'm going to be successful. Like, that's just, it was no like unsurety about it. It just took a while to find my path. And now that I found it, it's just like, okay, this is the one thing that I'm passionate about, that things just come to me naturally with, like, there's no forcing or anything. And on the back end of that, it's my children. I have 3 children. And so for me, they're also a part of my motivation, because I want to make sure they don't ever kind of have to experience some of the things I did as a child. Like, they are living a totally different life. And that's my motivation, just giving them that and being a part of that and just setting up a good legacy, and just really feeling like they basically got a shortcut. So every generation, we're supposed to get better. We're supposed to grow and elevate. I feel like I gave my kids like they boosted up 3 generations already. So that's kind of what keeps me going. Like, they know about entrepreneurship. My kids know about real estate. Like, I don't even, they just, them being in proximity to me and what I'm experiencing is what's motivates me to keep going.
So I want to ask y'all a little bit of financial question. What was the startup amount and how did you secure the funding for your business? Again, so
Ooh,
what was
yeah.
your startup amount and how did you secure the funding for your business? Sean, you about to say something? Go ahead.
Well, my startup amount really wasn't that high. I would say my camera was around $800, so that's really all I needed. But so I would say my startup wasn't no more than like $2,500 to get everything that I needed going. But I would say to go full time when I left my actual job, the startup money came from my 401k. I bet on myself. I said, if I'm gonna do it, I'm just gonna go head over heels, and just do everything I need to do. So I cashed out my 401k, and then I doubled down on the equipment that I needed, paid for the marketing and stuff that I needed. I just paid my bills up, so I wouldn't have to worry about anything for a while. And I just paid for all my marketing and all my equipment, and we just hit the ground running, man. And it's been a blessing. It started out a little shaky, but it's been working ever since.
I'll go next. I'm fairly new, so startup cost for me, I would say about 25,000. And I use my credit cards to do that. So right now I'm digging myself out of the hole. Um, I still work a full time job to help support that. So that was my startup cost.
I want to a follow-up question with you, Clover. Would you suggest that to other people out there to do it that way?
Mm, I wouldn't. I wouldn't, but I'm business minded, so I know I'll get myself out of this hole. I'm not even worried about that. And as I said before, and I always tell my kids this too: secure a corporate job, or a job period until you kind of get on your feet. If you don't have the funding, I didn't want to use a lot of business funding. I am still trying to secure grants as well to help with the funding to offset some of the the debt that I have. But having a full-time job is helping with paying off what I have used for my credit cards. So I wouldn't suggest it for someone unless you know that you're going to be able to get yourself out of it.
Melanie, you want to tap into this?
Yeah, so two part becoming a real estate agent was maybe took about with the classes and licensing and fees and everything, board memberships, maybe like 5K. And then as far as being an investor, I mean, the startup cost of it, like I said, I leveraged the first property that I bought. I had about like, I had over 100K in equity. So I bought the property for like really cheap in 2014. And by the time I realized and learned the game, I had a lot of equity in it. So I would say, yeah, either way, like being a realtor, there's no way around all the fees or whatever. But as far as being an investor, you can get into real estate and invest with little to no money. You can start wholesaling. You can partner with other people that have money. That's a little harder, but like I said, with that, I mean, if you want to just start looking for your first property, I would say you want to at least have like 10 to 20K liquid to get started.
Okay. And before Rachel go, listen, guys. Go ahead, Clover.
Sorry. So circling back on mine, because I'm assuming that everyone knows. I know that you know, Ed, but for me, I actually have a studio. So that is a bulk of where my funds go to. So I have furniture that I had to pay for inside of the studio. I actually decorated the studio. So each in my studio, I have 9 different sets that photographers, filmmakers, models can come in and actually shoot at. So it took a lot of money to kind of like build out those different sets. And then also I have a monthly lease. So I caught that lease up for 6 months too, so that I wouldn't be in the rears with that. So that's a lot of what my startup costs came from too.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense because you got a whole, and again, it's a nice studio, y'all. Y'all in Charlotte, it's a very nice studio. No, proud of the sister up there doing her thing. Hey, y'all. So y'all probably wonder what are we talking about. And Rachel gonna share with us in a second. Where we're talking to entrepreneurs and they're sharing their journey with us. We got some questions we're going to ask because there's a lot of people out there that might want to be entrepreneur, might be scared to take the leap. So hopefully after this conversation that you either decide to do it or decide like, nah, it's not for me. So we're gonna have Rachel come on with the question. And the question we had asked Rachel was, what was your startup amount and how did you secure funding for your business?
So I didn't have a actual startup amount when I started doing events that was required, but I worked in a corporate company where that focused like on the stock market. So I had a stock position that I was waiting on to basically take off. Like I, was following the pattern of it or whatever. And once it went up how I was hoping it would, I cashed out. So it just basically gave me some confidence to go ahead to start to be an entrepreneur, but I didn't necessarily need it. Now later on, when I had my daughter, when you're an entrepreneur, like there is no company funding your maternity leave. You have to fund your maternity leave. So that's when I had to go into debt. There was some complications during my labor and delivery where I couldn't really function like 100% how I normally would. So that's where my, I guess you would say, investment came into play, where, I had to rely on other sources. And I totally agree with Clover where she mentioned, if you can avoid using credit cards and going into debt, definitely do that. But get educated about it, and I'm just saying this to, anybody watching, get educated about business credit and the difference between using your personal debt and business debt, because there are a lot of these businesses that are successful, have been around for a long time. That's like someone's fourth or fifth business. They went bankrupt, 2 or 3 times in their business and started over, which is totally different than going bankrupt on your personal debt. So, just get educated and use credit to your advantage. And as an entrepreneur, a lot of us don't have someone in our family who could just throw us, 50,000, whatever, to go ahead and start our business. So, you have to be willing to take a risk sometimes. And even if you do go into deep debt, you're either gonna pull yourself out of it or you're gonna have to file bankruptcy. And maybe there's some, things that come along with that, but you can start over again. So just to mention that.
So I got a question. I don't know if y'all already answered this with Kyra's first question, but we got Clover that does movies and filming. We got a realtor. We got a photographer. We got a content creator, a media person, and Rachel. How did y'all even come up with these business ideas? Like, how did you come up with this? Did you one morning wake up like, I want to start taking pictures? Like, how did you what happened? Like, how did that? Or like, you know what? I'm gonna start doing movies. You watch the movie, like, I don't like how they did that. I must do a movie. Like, how did y'all what was that? What was that transition like?
For me, mine is always spiritually inclined. So I lied to you not. I was just chilling in the bed. I had already made my short film. I told you that part. Had made the series, first season of Hopeless Romantic, but I was just chilling. And I was like, how can I bring income in for my chocolate films? And at this time, I did not have a studio. And I just started having visions after visions. And the spirit was literally speaking to me and walking me through every step. I grabbed my notebook, started taking notes, and the rest is history.
So before somebody else talk, I want to give a slight shout out real quick. Hey, y'all, go to Tubi, go to Hopeless Romantic Season 1, check it out. Y'all not going to be disappointed because right now Season 2 is in the works and it's coming out soon. So this is a slight shout out for Clover. She did a thing with this thing, y'all. And guess what? I'm in Season 2.
Yeah, I need some pause in that.
Come on.
Go ahead, Sean. What about you? Like, did you wake up and this with your camera phone start taking pictures and you're like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do?
So mine came out of necessity. I bought my camera because I was a rapper in my earlier life, and I just didn't. I was a cheap rapper. I didn't want to pay for the camera work, so I just went and bought my own camera. Decided to shoot my own stuff, and once that passion kind of faded out, I just had a camera sitting there, and I'm not the one to waste money, so we put it to work and then started building and learning the craft, and it became my new passion. So I never knew I had it until I started it.
And did you get a lot of good feedback when you first started? How did you start? Did you start taking pictures of life?
It was trash. Oh, it was trash. I let the camera
Tell
do
us
most
about
of the
it. Come
work,
on.
but Nah, so I got my first shoot. I didn't understand the settings. I was one of them thinking I could just pull the camera out, start snapping. I didn't learn the equipment, and the first shoot I ended up having to get it was $50 shoot. We ended up having to get their money back just because the pictures didn't come out the way they were supposed to. But that was just a learning lesson. Hey, don't learn what you're doing, the ins, the outs of all your equipment, the business side, and everything before you just dive into something. Quick learning lesson, but yeah, like I said, I build on my skills, went to YouTube school, you know, and honed in on my craft, and that's just what it took.
That's what's up. What about you, Rachel? What did you do? Wake up one morning, you had an epiphany, or what happened?
Well, I was a little bit more intentional. Actually, like took an assessment of myself and like basically tried to figure out like, okay, what skills do I have that I know people need that I could instantly monetize. So that's how I started off doing events. But marketing and branding came from doing that, and it wasn't until I was in my business for a while and I was reflecting like, how did I get here? Like, how did I end up just doing marketing and branding and designing, something I didn't go to school for. And when I was in high school, I actually was the yearbook editor. And then thinking back, like, okay, you had to write the articles and, crop the photos and, do all those things, well before social media, like I was doing social media-ish like type of things. And then with technology, my dad was always into like tech and gadgets. So as a web builder, I just connected the dots. Like I've always been really comfortable with, computers and technology and software and things like that. So later it was like, oh, that's how that happened. It's kind of like a light bulb moment later that, all along it was little things happening in my life that prepared me for this.
Okay, I'm gonna give another little slight shout out real quick because we already said how Melanie sell like 100 houses, but Sean is an excellent actor. I've seen him do his little film the other day. He was like shooting a gun or something, shooting up the place. But Sean, he is an amazing actor. I was in a movie with him also. And Rachel, we call her Madam President. She be having awards. She be having the Joe Biden award and Kamala Harris. She always getting some award. So Rachel is out there doing her thing. So people right now, y'all. Everybody y'all looking at right now is really doing their thing for real. We ain't just getting no poop butts on here. We got some really good people that's out there really, really doing it real big. Melody, go ahead. Let's see about you.
So I'm trying to put it together the right way. So what was the question again?
Did you just wake up and say I'm gonna be a realtor, or how did that happen?
Like, yeah, that's kind of like I said, I was a stay-at-home mom for a couple years, and one day I was just like, okay, I'm so bored, like I can't do this anymore. And like my youngest, he was turning like 3 or 4, and I was like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. I'm so bored. Was low-key probably depressed. That's just something that's hard for me to ever admit, but I had got very bored with kids in school, cook, clean, and I was like, I gotta do something. And then I was like, oh, I'll do real estate, because I like the flexibility in the schedule and not have to show up to a place and sit there for 8 hours a day and take orders, that sort of thing. So yeah, I just basically woke up one day. I was like, I'm about to get my real estate license, and then that just took me along the path. And yeah, I'm like, now I'm deep into it where I'm like, I probably should have just did this from the beginning. I don't know. I got a college degree, but it's nice to have. But I wish I had started this instead of going to college. Actually, yeah.
So how long did it take you to sell your first house or home or whatever you building, apartment, whatever?
So yeah, I got my first sale. So I got licensed. I had my license in May of 2021. So this is actually my 3-year anniversary month. And I sold my first property in June. So like took me like 2-3 weeks to get my first contract, and then I sold it. We closed like July 5th, right after the 4th of July. So not long at all. A little bit of luck and just a little bit of drive. Like I said, I wasn't scared. A lot of new agents, they're terrified. They don't know how to talk to people. They don't. What do I say? What do I do? And I'm just like, I don't know, maybe already, like I said, growing up around people that own real estate, that had tenants, and growing up and having my own property already, I was like not afraid, and it didn't take me long at all. After that, though, I go like 4 or 5 months before my next sale. But I mean, I think in my first year, I ended up selling like 7 houses. So that alone is like unheard of, really, for new agents.
Well, I'm gonna say like Clover said, it's all about the spirituality. I'm a spiritual person too, so it wasn't luck. Luck that had nothing to do with that. It was
No,
the man above seeing something in you, and he helped you along that way.
absolutely.
Hey, Kyra, what's going on in the
Absolutely.
chat?
Absolutely.
I can't hear you, Kyra.
Sorry. One person agreed with what Clover said in terms of keeping that job to like your 9 to 5 so that you ensure that you have things like benefits, insurance, because it gets expensive when you're doing it on your own. And then there's 2 questions. I'm going to ask the first one, and then we'll delve into the second one a little bit later. If a person is afraid to fail, what are some encouraging words that you all can share? I know, Sean, you talked about your first photo shoot, how you hadn't practiced and didn't quite know your equipment and ended up needing to give them their money back for the photo shoot. So, like, what are some lessons learned, encouraging words that you all can share with people that might want to put their foot into being an entrepreneur?
Well, first I would say to the keeping the job, like I understand, I truly do. But time is our most valuable tool and our most valuable asset. Like we can't waste a lot of time on somebody else's dream. And that's what I felt like I was doing at that job. Luckily for me, I'm a veteran. So I was able to get veteran insurance for myself and my family. So that portion I don't have to worry about. But that job sometimes holds you back. So my encouraging words for anybody would be just bet on yourself, because nobody else will, unless you know, a woman or something can find a nice man to take care of you, but that don't really happen over here for the men too much. So I had to bet on myself. So I understand keeping that job, but don't chase nobody else's dream if you're not going to chase your own.
Like that. Does anyone else want to answer that question?
I want to go back on Sean real quick. So Sean, what if you don't have the funny to jump right out there? So what you say to the people? They want to take the leap, but they don't really have. They like, man, if I quit this job, man, I might be eating ramen noodles on somebody's couch, not my own couch no more. What would you say to those people?
I say, don't be stupid. Make sure that you can take care of yourself. But that comes with a plan. I always told myself, if I get any job, I'm only going to be there for 5 years. 5 years to give me enough time to stack $20K in my 401k and build up a nice savings account to where once I'm ready, I'm gone. Like I don't want to work nowhere longer than 5 years. And fortunately for this past job, I was only there for 4. And again, like I said, I use my 401k to pay a lot of my bills up. So that's something I just didn't have to worry about. But please don't be stupid. Secure yourself some funding, plan it. Because my plan was always 5 years. It just got cut a little short. So plan accordingly.
I joke, but I really want people to I'm sorry. I joke, but I really want people to like really take this serious. You know, that's why I asked you, like, for real. Even I threw a little joke out, because y'all know I joke on here all the time. But I really want people, they might like, oh, Sean said, F that job. You know, but I really want people to really hear what you're saying. When you say fuck that job, you say, but have a plan. You know, so I want people really to be engaged with what you're saying. Go ahead. I think Clover, you about to say something?
Yeah, so I just want to piggyback off of what Sean said. You know, if you're afraid to jump out of there, take a leap, and you still have a 9 to 5, I mean, you can start it like part-time, which is what I did before I, actually built my studio or had my studio. You can do it on the side. It's something that you can do on the side and just, make sure that it's something that you want to do, build your clientele, whatever it is that your business is. But for me, as Sean said, I have created my exit strategy, my exit plan. So at the end of this month, it will be my last month working for corporate America. But I have created my exit plan. I'm nervous, but at this point, the only thing I can do is bet on myself and just take that leap and hope. Well, I know that God has me. He's going to catch me. So that's the only thing I can say for someone that's, nervous to get out there. Just take that chance. He got you.
I also want to chime in too on that, like quitting your corporate job. So, I'm doing the clap thing. I wanted to jump in too because.
Okay, let's rein that in.
Let me know what you're doing.
Sorry, go ahead. Carol, you push the button.
I did not.
Are you
Hold on.
Carol
done?
be
So
going
are
back and
you
forth. I'm sorry.
finished?
I am so close
Go
to
ahead.
deleting the applause.
Like, are you done or you finished?
I'm done.
I was
Let me
gonna say
finish.
too, like I know a lot of people they think that the transition should go from job straight into their business, but I want to put something else. I want us to change our way of thinking a little bit. If you have a job, right? Because sometimes I think about getting a job only for this one reason, and that is to leverage that W-2, that pay stub income, to get more properties that are going to pay me passively. Once I can acquire enough properties and cash flow that passively replaces my monthly income, boom, now I'm starting business number 2, which is what I really want to do, what I'm really passionate about. So that's like, to me, the only real benefit of working a corporate job is that you can buy a house and only put 3% down, only put 3.5% down. Live there for 1 year, boom, rent it out, do it again. In that 5 years that we're talking about, you can literally own 5 single family homes that cash flow $5,000. Maybe rents on up, it made cash flow $7,000 by that time. So in 5 years, instead of just waiting, hey, let's buy a property every year for 3.5% down, which in a lot of places, if a house is 200,000, we're talking a couple grand, get the seller to pay closing costs or whatever, a lot of different ways to pay your closing costs. Let's build up our rental portfolio that is going to pay us passively. Now, when we quit that job, we replaced our job income with our property income. Now we can do whatever we want to do because my bills are guaranteed by the properties. My bills are going to get paid from the rents from the properties that I own. Now I don't even have to worry about that. So I think that if more people thought about it that way, like use the job in W-2 to your best benefit, which is to buy a property every year for only 3 or 3.5% down. That's the only benefit. Like if you do that for 5 years and you leave, your passive income is paying your bills, your business money, now you get to start that and you really can, you know what I mean? You really can build a business now because you don't have to worry about paying your bills. So that's what I think a good trajectory should be.
I like it.
Can I ask a question? I just want to ask Melanie a question. Like, where are the
Go for
houses
it.
at this 200K? Because baby, over here,
A lot of places you got to think outside the box.
they are
You got to
expensive.
think about it. I live in California, so it's nothing here for that, right? I can go way out and find something for like 400, 500. But Midwest, I mean, like right now, even myself, I'm looking at Detroit. I'm looking in Ohio. I have most of my properties are in Chicago, are in Illinois, I'm going to say. I don't only invest in Chicago. You can go downstate, Peoria, Champaign, Springfield. So many places to invest for less than. I'm looking at properties in Detroit right now for my max budget is 120. I don't want to go over that. I don't want nothing too crazy. I don't want to, you spend 30, you're going to get, you're going to be dealing with 30K property problems, but you can't. So sometimes we have to look outside of our immediate areas. But even the only place I know that's really ridiculous is the West Coast. Everywhere else, I feel like there's little pockets everywhere where you could probably find something for cheaper. It may be a town somewhere you've never heard of, though. See what I'm saying? It may not be like, oh, if I live in this big city, this is where I'm going to invest. You may have to drive down in the country somewhere or different areas and find stuff. But there's a lot of places still, especially in the Midwest, Kansas, down south, you can find properties for less than 200K for sure. And even if it's not like near where you work or whatever, so you can get that low down payment, having a W-2, you still, okay, maybe now you got to put down 5% because it's out of state. Where investors or entrepreneurs, we got to put down 15, 20%. I put down 15, 20% on every property I buy. It sucks. It takes me a long time to buy one property because I got to put so much money down. Because to banks, I don't understand how a person who fishes for themselves is more risky than a person that can get fired tomorrow. Don't make sense to me, but I don't control that. But yeah, that's like crazy to me, which I've had clients literally get fired before closing day. So yeah, I would definitely leverage those W-2 while you're employed, leverage it, buy property, build up your passive income, then start your business. Because if you can get your bills paid every month, you can do anything after that. You can't fail after your bills are paid. So
Rachel, you want to tap into this question? Kyra, you want to repeat the question?
I think I unstarred the question.
Basically, you saying,
If
well,
a
what's
person
some
is,
encouraging words that you might give someone?
yeah, if a person's afraid to fail, what are encouraging words that you can share with them?
So failing is a cheat code, I think. Like anytime it's been a time where, I had something happen in my business, maybe I, was a not great experience with a client or something where I maybe didn't know how to do it right away. Like it forces you to have to figure it out, and then you're more equipped for the next thing that's coming. So really, it's a mindset shift that has to happen, and that can take time. But just you have to keep feeding yourself, positive things. You have to listen to those podcasts, listen to people who have gone farther than you, and anybody's story is going to be full of fails who's a successful entrepreneur. So it's really just a mindset shift. You have to be intentional about where you have to know and understand and really believe that everything is working for you. And you just have to trust that, regardless of what happens, God is still going to have you, and you have to trust that you're going to be okay no matter what. And you just really have to believe that, like, even if you imagine your worst day, maybe you don't have no money in your account, whatever, like you have to know, like, I'm still going to be okay, even if I don't eat for a day. And I know that might sound like crazy or whatever, but you have to know, like, regardless, you're still going to be okay, and just believe it. And it never fails. You will always be okay. So it's really a mindset shift.
I got a question, Ed.
Kyra, what was the second question you had? Oh, go ahead, Obi.
Obi had a question. I'll come back to it.
I'm just curious, since the different lines of business here, what do you guys do to generate new ideas to kind of get new business? Because I know you guys probably have some outside the box thinking when it comes to that.
I'll start. To generate new ideas, I mean, we live in like a social media age. So for me, I have a Finsta. And if you know, you know. So I I go on my Finsta because I don't like to mess up my main profile's algorithm. If you start looking up new stuff, that change your whole algorithm. So I go on my Finsta and I just look at what other people in my niche are posting, what they're doing, like what kind of ideas are they sharing. And then also too, I get into Facebook groups. So I go into different Facebook groups and I just search in the tab what I'm looking for, lead generation or how to find motivated sellers or whatever I'm looking for, whatever idea. I just research. I just take the time and figure out what other people are doing to be successful. What kind of ideas, what's working for other people. So definitely networking, doing the research, going on YouTube, university, and just seeking out what I'm looking for. But definitely, like you have to like just scope out the competition a little bit. And I don't believe in copying, but making things your own, like taking it in, seeing, okay, this worked for them. Okay, but what could I say? How does that look for me? Analyzing that and then trying it out for yourself.
Imitation is the best form of flattery. So as far as for entertainment, photography and stuff like that, I have a few set photographers that I follow. I may not do it for paid shoots, but I do go out and practice a lot of the things that I've seen them do and see if I can recreate certain images. And acting, I'm always doing monologues and things of my favorite actors. The Facebook groups are amazing. Yeah, man, just find somebody that you look up to. I don't necessarily have a mentor, but like I said, I do have certain photographers and videographers that I follow, and I recreate a lot of their work just for practice.
Does anyone else want to answer that question?
One thing you can do is, ask your current clients and customers, or at least the ones that you like to work with. A lot of times people will tell you where the need is just from you working with them. So, definitely listen to the people you are already serving. And then, I know for me, I've had a lot of word of mouth business, and that comes from relationships. So even things like organizations I volunteer with. So you might think, oh, I don't have time to volunteer. I'm trying to grow my business. I need to be making money. I met people through organizations who connected me to my biggest clients because I had it in me to want to serve for that organization. So, definitely build relationships, in a genuine way, just reach out to people because of what you think you can get out of them, but don't ignore the things that's in you that you feel compelled to do, or the organizations you want to connect with just because it's free, or, you have to give your time. Like, don't be afraid to give your time.
What is that noise?
Can I add one more thing?
So I got another question for you
ChatGPT
guys.
is your friend.
Yes, sir.
Now I said ChatGPT is your friend. Use the AI as much as possible. That thing is saving me right now. Like social media posts, new ideas and stuff like that. You ask them AI sites and they will definitely give you a great answer. But that's my last input.
So when you said that, hey Rachel, I remember you posted something about that you did not like that. So can you explain? Because he said use it. You posted don't use it.
That's not what I said. What I said was, when you use AI, you have to do some pre-work first. You have to train your AI. So if you just go on AI and say, generate me 10 posts about, this subject or this business, it's going to sound generic and it's going to sound like something somebody else already posted. So you have to work on, your brand messaging, or work on your brand voice first, work on that part. And then you train AI to do what you needed to do. You can even take posts you previously done, like you just wrote yourself, put that into AI and tell AI to analyze it, and then give it, hey, generate, 10 post ideas for this in the brand voice, or that sounds like this. You have to give it something to work with first so that it sounds on brand and it sounds like an actual person has something to do with it versus just, typing whatever in there. So that was the point of the post. I put that post and that grabbed your attention, but then it was in the comments that gave you the step-by-step, here's what to do. So you got to read the whole post. But no, I'm a big fan of AI. I'm actually about to put out a workshop around creating your brand messaging to use for AI and how to use it. So I'm a big fan.
I don't read comments. I just read the post and keep scrolling. My bad. Hey, Kyrie, what was the second question you had? No, for real. You laugh, Kyrie. I don't read nobody's comments. There be too much comments. I don't be reading all that. I barely read people's posts.
I like reading the comments, and then there's comments on the comments, but I'll just try to limit myself. But sometimes some of the comments are good, or sometimes the comments have questions, or sometimes when you just click on the thing, I'm not that tech savvy, y'all know that. It'll say like see link below or in bio and stuff like that. I'm nosy, so I'm in the comments.
The comments is the best part.
If your post too long, I ain't reading it. I don't read no long post. If it's more than 2 sentences long, I'm not reading it. You'll be putting books up there. I ain't about to read all that.
Oh wow.
Not more than 2 sentences. Oy. All right, let's see.
I don't read no whole book. Somebody put a whole book up. But go ahead, Kyra.
I'm going to go with the fact that everyone appears to be young. Has anyone ever challenged you because your age or your ethnicity?
I'm old, so I'm out of that question because I'm old.
You don't look old, so there's that.
I'm over 40, so
you're not old.
So am I.
That's old.
I get the reverse.
Me too.
Yeah. Sean, were you going to answer that?
Oh no, yeah, I get that all the time. Like that's faithful. I'm 36, but movie roles I can never get it. He took the professor role from me because I don't look old enough to play a professor. I can't play anybody my age in the movie. So in that world, yeah, I get discriminated against a lot. I want to be somebody's zaddy in a film. That's all. I just want to be there one time.
Come back in 20 years. Because in 20 years, maybe
it's the best part of the movie, though. I had that one little classroom scene.
Man, I just want to play somebody with some maturity on them. That's all. Clover, you got me, right? Like, please, you got me.
I got you.
Anyone else want to take that question?
I feel like I got it more when I was working in corporate than in my business. I don't look my age or sound my age, and that's always been the issue. But once in my business, usually people think I'm younger, and then once we start working together and we get to know each other more, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know." Like, yeah, and especially because what I do, it's like digital marketing, social media. People always think like a young person, super young person, has to do it. Oh, but I know I'm getting older, whatever. But in my business, people care more about, can you do it? What are the results? Versus in corporate, people are always like, oh, can I speak to the manager? It's like, here I am. I'm who you got, you don't sound old enough. I've been doing this long, you've been alive. Maybe so, sir, but I know what I'm doing, so in my business, a lot less than I ever did in corporate.
Hey, Obi. So Rachel
I
is the
answered
one that's
too.
supposed to help us with our thing.
Oh, okay, got you.
Did you hear me,
Got you.
Obi?
Yeah, I heard you. Okay, that's cool. Hey, I have a question for everybody.
Go ahead, Melody.
1 second, Obi.
For the last question, so for me, I don't never get challenged because of my age or anything like that. Well, it just depends. Like if the people are like very, very elderly, if they want to sell their house or something like that, then yeah, they'll be like, well, how long have you been doing it? And what, I'll get those sort of questions. But as far as ethnicity, yeah, I feel like I've been passed over for opportunities. I didn't get listings because I show up as a brown woman. I almost can instantly tell when it happens, because this is like my work voice, but it's not like my full work voice, like when I'm trying to get the business voice. But y'all know what I'm talking about. So me showing up after using that voice is like, oh, okay. Like I know when people, if I'm not able to build the rapport and you just keeping it very short with me, then yeah, you're not gonna just a business person. You want a white person to represent you. And it's happened before and I know it. And those are the people I don't know. It's a certain feeling, it's a certain look you get. So it's definitely but I just pivot. I don't like sit in it and say, oh, I didn't get this listing or I didn't get this opportunity or these people never call me back after I showed them a house. I just move on. Like in finding your people, your niche, people that want to work with you. There's people that want to work with you just because it's you. You don't have to, compete and stuff for the business. Some people just want to work with you.
And I will say something in regards to, I don't know if this ties in, but if there's anyone out there that's looking to get their own space, I felt that I was discriminated against, like when I tried to find my own studio. So that was a little bit hard. I did not get a lot of phone calls back from the others. I'm just going to say that a lot of the phone calls weren't returned. So it was a little hard trying to find spaces in places that I wanted to be in.
And how did you overcome that?
I'm not gonna get tired of talking about God, but I'm gonna say it again. God, I was directed. The path was directed for me, and I was told to reach out to someone that was of the ethnicity of a Spanish person, and I did, and the rest is history. I'm on my face.
Nice. Won't he do it?
Yes, he will.
Obi, you had a question.
I got another question, guys.
Okay,
wait, Obi had a question.
Ain't gonna let Obi go.
Go ahead, Obi.
Got a lot of questions tonight.
Hey, Sean, see how they trying to hold me back, man? They won't let me be great.
Side, man.
They won't let me be great. I appreciate that because you know how Kyra is, but we'll talk about that later. But to each of you, what makes your businesses unique? And Melanie, can you answer it in the voice that you said that you use sometimes?
Not make her code switch on the show.
Yeah. We need to hear that voice. We do.
Wait a minute. What was the question?
What makes your business unique from others?
What makes my business unique?
Use the voice too. Use the voice, please.
Well, Obi, that's one thing I could say that kind of makes me stand out from a lot of other agents. Is just the fact that I don't know. I really think it's my upbringing, in the fact that I like identify with a lot of buyers. A lot of people, they can't afford to buy a home in this market. A lot of people don't know, like, it's very, very expensive right now to buy a house. It's very expensive. It's very scary. And I think that for me, like, because I also buy and sell, like, for my business as well, I'm not just an agent. Like, I don't just need to represent you to make ends meet. I have other ways to earn money. It's like, hey, I literally the best for you because my livelihood isn't dependent on making this sale. A lot of agents, like, they're going broke and starving right now because they were an agent when times were good, right? You can get a house for 3% interest rate. Everybody want a house then. Now that it's harder to buy, it's more expensive. There's less customers. So a lot of agents are doing things that are cutthroat. They're desperate. And when you have someone like that representing you, are they really representing you in your best interest? Or are they just trying to make sure the deal gets closed so that they can pay their mortgage in 30 days? So I think that's what's making me different is that working with me, I don't need you to buy or sell, right? I have another business that's thriving. And so I'm able to put your best interest really before mine.
Yeah, who wanna go
Anyone
next?
else want to handle that?
Anybody else want to tap into that
Listen,
question?
I got the answer for that one. And I actually gave the same answer in the article that was just written about my business earlier this week. Actually, it's on Campbell Rebel. Y'all can go check that out. I dropped the link in the chat.
Yeah.
But what's different about me is I truly feel that art is the number one unifier of the world. So with me putting that responsibility on myself, I'm definitely going to give you 112, 130% every time. I'm a creative, so I always want to create. Nothing's going to be bland with me. And again, it's just the fact that art unifies the world, and that's an amazing responsibility that all us creatives have, and we need to use that power in the right way. So yeah, man, let's be together.
For me, as a
Anybody else want
brand,
to tap into that question?
for me as a brand strategist and designer, usually you don't get both in the same person. So I'm able to, start point A with the consultation and the strategy part of it, and then, actually mapping out the pieces it takes to grow a brand or to grow a campaign. Then actually the structure of it on the technology side, and then the front facing or the customer facing side where it's the aesthetics and the copy. So I'm able to do, all different parts where again, usually you don't find it in the same person. And that's what my clients say they, appreciate about working with me. And then also, once I'm able to grab onto someone else's vision and just see it bigger. Like it's something sometimes I wish didn't come to me so easy, because sometimes I can want something more for my clients than they will. But, when I'm aligned with the right person and it's like, okay, let's go, we can really make great things happen, because it's easy for me to see. Like I actually see pictures and things in my head first before I create things.
So I'll speak for me. What makes my business unique? I would say that I'm one of the first content studios in Charlotte. They're popping up more and more, but I'm one of the first content studios that creatives can come to and actually create content. But outside of that, I also, I also have a real estate background. I have that. I'm into film. I can mentor the individuals that come in and they're interested in film, acting. So I think I stand out in that way from other studios. I have a lot to offer, put it that way.
All right, that's good. Obi, was you done with that question? Did you have anything else? I got another two
No,
questions
I'm
I want to
good.
ask the panel.
I don't have anything else. I'm good.
You sure? Because Kyra might look at you crazy and force you to say something else.
Hey, let me try to make up one real quick. I don't want to have a problem with this.
Okay, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. So, has your business been a success? What's and so give us a little bit about the success you have and what is the failures you had through this process. So, what is your success and your failures? Sean, you want to go? Go ahead, Sean.
I was trying to be a gentleman, man. I wanted to let the ladies go first. But
That makes fun of you.
oh wow.
Ooh, Obi, shots fired.
The show ain't over yet now. Just remember that. It's not over.
Okay, I'm gonna break down the easy tension for y'all too. Listen,
That was funny. That was funny.
That's how you break it up, Sean. You gotta do that. You break it up.
You had that queued up. That was on
Go
time.
ahead, Sean.
oh yeah, that was perfect. That was perfect. Successes I've had. I became published very quick, so that was a success that I had. I was published twice in the same year, and that kind of let me know that I could do this. I posted a video one time and it made it to the news. I mean, I posted a video one day and it made it to the news cycle on CN2 like the next day. And I'm out on vacation and they calling me asking can they use the footage and stuff. So that just let me know I belong and what I was doing was actually working. So I guess that's that was the successes. The failures is just not getting booked early on and needing the money. Those are the failures for me. Just not understanding marketing, not understanding how to brand for my exact niche and what I was actually good at. So those were my failures, is not understanding. Again, I guess that was the same thing, my failure from the beginning when I didn't understand the equipment.
Mm-hmm.
I just had to understand how to market myself properly to get to the masses, to be able to get that influx of clients that I need.
And how did you learn from that failure? Like, did you learn that you need to do research more or to pour into yourself more, to set time aside? What exactly did you do to actually learn from that?
It's actually an unhealthy thing that I do, and I've been doing it my whole life, which is throw money at the problem.
Okay.
And that's basically what I did as far as the marketing and things of that nature. I finally paid for Google. I finally paid for Yelp. Finally started paying for ads, and just for that to boost the traffic. You don't have to do it all the time, but at certain times of the years, like graduation season just hit, like I made sure that I was paying for promotion and marketing during that time because I knew exactly what I was trying to get booked.
Mm-hmm. Nice. I like that strategy.
I don't. It's expensive.
Well, I like the strategy of like making your money work for you and being able to look at the market and knowing like during high seasons, like holidays, people are going to probably want to be photographed. So it's worth it to invest in your business to be able to make money from people that are out there trying to spend the money. And then the same thing for college graduations. There's so much happening on social media where people want to have videos and pictures and collages and all this stuff. So being able to capitalize on that market during graduation season, I think is really like makes a lot of sense and is really logical and strategic.
It was so funny, Sean. I forgot to send you the thing, but Clover knows they're looking for a photographer. I forgot to send it to you. At one point, they looking for a photographer. I forget. I'm sorry, brother. I totally forget. And I think I posted. I think I made a post about it, but I forgot to send you. I'm sorry, Sean.
We'll connect, man. We'll definitely connect.
I appreciate it.
Clover, you want to take a stab at this, your success and failures, and how you overcame it?
So I think that I'm too new for failures. I don't have anything yet, but for successes, I would say working in corporate America. I know, that's a thing that we try to stay away from, but really working in corporate America has given me the tools that I need to be successful in business. So that's a success. Being able to market myself, knowing how to market myself, Knowing the administrative piece of running a business because I've helped someone else run their business for years. So that's a success. Also, I want to say for first season, I think it was last year or the year before, we won or was nominated for 6 awards for my Hopeless Romantic first season. That was pretty dope. I also have a children's book that I didn't mention. I was on the news for that. So I feel like I've had many successes. I haven't gotten to the failures yet. So I know they're to come because it's a part of business. So, but corporate America has helped me pivot and given me the tools that I need to be successful in business.
And I have a quick follow-up question for you, Clover, because you are so it is pretty new to you and it hasn't hit you yet. Do you have a plan for when failure comes, whether it's a scripture or people to surround yourself with or a journal, or how will you handle failure? Do you have a mitigation plan set up, because it may come at some point in time? So staying ready so you don't have to get ready.
Right. That's a good question. Just making sure that I have the savings, like Sean said earlier, just making sure I have those savings in place, but also continuing researching, having that mentor available, knowing the field that I'm in, which is filmmaking, being around other filmmakers and learning from them and learning from their mistakes. So that kind of helps me along the way. Things that I don't know, they're teaching me. I'm always a learner in life. So I think that's the attitude to have, being a learner and a student is what I'm looking for. So being a student in life will help you navigate and kind of, get through some of those failures.
Nice.
Rachel, you want to tap into this?
Yeah, I would say my most recent failure, and I definitely look at it as more of a lesson learned type of thing, was last year. I decided I would go all in just on trying to scale, and I was in an amazing cohort at the beginning of the year, so that was an investment. Invested in this cohort, learned a lot of things as it relates to business management, KPIs, all the numbers things, for business when you're trying to scale a team. But before entering the cohort, I really felt strongly I was supposed to focus on digital products, right? So, more passive income things. But after this cohort and from the person leading the cohort, and it's not a knock against them because they're amazing. All day long, I will say, this person is amazing. But for my business, I definitely learned sometimes I have to, it's that having discernment on knowing okay, I'm learning all of these things, but I have to also go with what I know is going to be best for my business. So last year was my highest revenue business as I was scaling. It was amazing, but it was also a lot of expenses as I was trying to scale my team and grow team members. And that was a whole challenge. Just, right now, a lot of people are having issues with things happening in the workforce and just getting good quality people on your team. So I definitely learned a lot just about that process, the hiring process, training people, things like that. And I feel a lot more confident in that area. But it was also a learning opportunity where I learned for myself, you have, when you know, and, sometimes you might feel bad about, I got to cut this person or, whatever. And I just really learned, I have to choose my business first. I care about people a lot, but I have to choose my business because then my business won't survive. So it was a win that it was a great revenue year, but at the same time, now my team is a lot smaller than it was last year at its biggest because there was a lot of issues that happened with, in the hiring process, or once you have someone on their team, the issues that can happen with that.
Hey, Rachel, before Melody go on, I want to ask you another question. You said something interesting. So we didn't really on the show fire nobody, but we kind of let go of somebody. If it's sort of kind of, so how did that, how did you handle that, firing somebody? Because we had a similar, it's also Obi smiling. We had a similar incident, and we had to have a hard conversation on this actual show about somebody who's part of our team, and it was a tough conversation because I never had to really have that type of conversation. So how did that go? How did you feel afterwards? I know your business, and anybody else can tap into this too after after Melody go. But for Rachel, how did you feel Did you get extra chances? Like what if that whole dynamic was like that to have to let somebody go?
Yeah, I gave a lot of chances, and you have to have those hard conversations, and just having a balance of like directness, but then also having understanding too. So it got to a point with one person on my team where we had like so many face-to-face meetings, and they apologizing and all of that, and it's hard when it's somebody who does good at their role, but they're not consistent. So I had to, make the hard decision of, okay, I need to be able to plan for my business. I need to be able to set expectations for my clients and, be able to meet deadlines, things like that. So one, it was just a hard decision of, weighing out, they do a good job, but the consistency is so important. So, that was one thing. And then just how you said, having the hard conversations, but then also recognizing like, okay, we had one conversation, we had two conversations, and it happened again. We did training, you check your boxes, as a business owner, as, the team manager, whatever. But once you check those boxes, that has to be it. Like you can't, eventually it just becomes you being the problem by trying to hold on to that person. So just, recognizing, okay, I've done everything I think I can do. That's got to be it. It's like a saying out there, be slow to hire and quick to fire. And I think people do deserve, second chances, but we can't afford third, fourth, fifth chances.
Rach, you can't hire me. You won't fire me. I promise you.
Wait, we gotta fight.
I'm just joking. Go ahead. I'm playing with you. Hey, Melody, can you tap into this one?
Successes, right?
Success and failures, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, I mean, I think being in real estate, that's just the normal process of business. Even this month, I mean, I had 3 properties fall out of contract. So I mean, I had 3 closes, 3 paychecks that I lost, and there's nothing I can do about it. When I was a newer agent, I used to literally get like, it used to affect me basically. Like it would make me sad, angry, like, oh, I was gonna get paid this day, we're gonna close, it fell out of contract, da 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 da. Now my motto is just put more properties under contract. And that way, if you put 6 under contract and 3 fall out, you still get 3 paychecks at the end of the month. So that's like my goal is always, I want to put like at least 5 to 6 properties under contract. That way, if 2, 3 don't work out, don't work out with my clients or whatever, I still get paid. I still get at least 1 paycheck a month. I mean, a couple paychecks a month. But yeah, and then like even on the investor side, so my last and biggest project that I did, it was a flip of a multi-family building, and you want to talk about failures? Ooh, that took everything, literally, like all my money, my emotion, my stress, like it was so many things that came up that happened, to where it was like, I don't know how I'm gonna make it out of this transaction, out of this attempt to flip this property. It had got very bad. But every time I just dug in, got creative, got resourceful, and figured it out, and I end up making it through. But I would say, yeah, just being in real estate in general, you're gonna have a lot of failures. I know we only post the successes. You only see when I sell a house, or I sold $1 million property or whatever. I don't post the 5 that fell out of contract. Like nobody wants to hear about that. Every now and again, I will post about it because it is real life. But I think that being able to roll with the punches and understand that if you're going to be in real estate, it's always going to be something coming up. It is not a perfect business. It is not okay, I give you my time and you give me this amount of money and then I'm done. No, it is, I give you my time. I put in time. Sometimes I don't get, and most of the time I don't get paid. So it's a failure in a way, but it's just the way of. So I've grown to just appreciate it. So for the people that think I hear, agents get paid too much money, you guys don't do anything, like you guys just don't know all the work that goes into it and all the failures we've experienced to have this one little success that we're bragging about. So behind me, I know the house post, there's probably like 4 or 5 that fell out of contract and we didn't sell, even though we showed the people a property, we wrote an offer, we negotiated an offer, we negotiated repairs, we did all this work, but now we're not getting paid for it. So it's just part of the game. And I think that if you're able to kind of roll with it as an entrepreneur, like you'll see a lot of success. But for people that like the steady income, like I know in 2 weeks I'm getting paid, I'm getting my money in my account, you know, you can't have it both ways, I guess.
I got two last questions. I'm gonna get y'all out of here. So compare from a job, a 9 to 5 to an entrepreneur. What is some of like if you want to compare and contrast them, how would you do that? Like what do you say that's similar things and what do you say is different between working a 9 to 5 or being an entrepreneur?
Are you asking which one we prefer?
Like which one, like can you compare like which one like been 9 to 5 entrepreneur? Which one are like similar to each other and then what's the difference between the two of them?
So for me, the difference will be like you wouldn't have the health insurance, like the benefits are not there. That's something that you have to provide for yourself in as an entrepreneur. The contrast, I don't know. As an entrepreneur, I think that it's more rewarding because it's your business, and hopefully it's a passion that you have. So that's my answer. I don't have anything else.
Okay.
Let me expound on that. Let me think on that. Let me ponder.
And Rachel and Melody, before y'all go, Kyra, read some comments and y'all can think about that too. Like if you had to compare and contrast a 9 to 5 to an entrepreneur. So y'all can think on that while Kyra reading the comments.
And most of the comments have been questions. So maybe something to think of like as we bring it to a close in a little bit for like final thoughts. So there's do you all mentor other people who are aspiring entrepreneurs? And then also, how much money should you have saved in the event of an injury, emergency, or loss of a business? And then there's one more that you can choose from because I know that this resonated with me earlier, and someone, I don't remember who it was, but they said that like once this business is successful, then it's on to the next one. So if you have like multiple talents, how do you know which one to start a business or like which order you're going to go in? And I know that was a lot that I just threw at y'all.
Can you repeat that one more time, Kyra?
Yeah. So the questions that y'all can choose from are, do you all currently mentor others that are aspiring to be entrepreneurs? Or how much money should you have saved in the event of an emergency or loss of a business? Or the last one that you can choose from, if a person has multiple talents, how do you know which one to start your business with?
One thing I wanted to mention, something Melanie said is kind of my answer of the difference between having a 9 to 5 and being an entrepreneur. Like your check is not always guaranteed by a certain date. Just meaning like, you can have invoices out, or for my business, I can have invoices out and the invoice can be due. That doesn't necessarily mean the client is going to pay the invoice on the day that it's due. So just being able to adjust and having a discipline, with spending, like just because I got this big payment right now doesn't mean I can just go ball out and do whatever. Like I have to think ahead. Let me put this away just in case, next month or, 3 months down the line, business isn't there's not as much business. Like between, I would say like December to February, business for me tends to slow down because people are like focused on holidays. They're doing budgets and stuff for next year. People, it's just people aren't as focused on marketing during that time. So, in the past, I've just had to make adjustments for that. And now that I know that's a trend, now I prepare for it all the time. And just some quick answers to what you said about how much money to have saved. You should always, be working on saving money for your business. But I I have business insurance, and everybody should absolutely have business insurance. And in my insurance contract, or whatever that's called, I'm not sure. But in my insurance, like the person I work with walked me through all of the different components I could have included in my insurance. So anybody who works with me, regardless of, we went through all these different scenarios, and so it's covered like X amount for whatever situations that might happen. So I wouldn't necessarily have to come out of pocket, but that would be an insurance claim. And then also, even like for yourself, and I don't know if this was a question, but like with my life insurance, there's riders in my life insurance where if something happens to me, I'm covered in addition to health insurance. So just have, like, insurance is your friend. Like, get covered that way. Even if you don't have the money saved up right now, you will still be okay, and it won't, destroy your business or destroy your finances.
Excellent.
Anybody
I
else want to take one
think
stab?
I'll jump in with the what was it? The difference between your 9 to 5 and entrepreneurship. For me, it's freedom. Literally, I can remember being like 20. I was like 24. Yeah, 24, 25 with 2 kids. I had a 2-year-old and a baby, and I remember having to pay for daycare, get on the train, go downtown, go to work, leave work at 5, try to make it to the daycare before 6, pick them up, eat, bath, sleep, do it over again. It was literally like, I literally feel like I have a form of PTSD from it because I don't really remember my kids when they were babies. Like, I don't. I got the pictures, I got videos, but like the moments is like, I don't know, it went like that. So for me, my time and my freedom is everything. And there's not one price an employer could put on it. It's just, they can't put a price on it. That's the difference for me. How much is your time really worth? So if I can, and even right now, when we get off this thing, I still got a couple more things I can do. So yeah, it's not always like, oh, I don't really work. I don't really do anything. Like, no, I do work a lot. But at the same time, I get to pick and choose when it's convenient for me to do it. Nobody's locking me in somewhere I got to be for 8 hours a day and telling me when I can take a lunch break and everything like that. It's like, okay, if I get the stuff done today, I don't. If I don't get it done, I'll just get up tomorrow at 5 a.m. and get something done that I was supposed to do today. Like, I would rather do that than have parameters on my life and like telling me when I can do everything. So my freedom, my time, that's the big difference. I feel like if there's anybody that feel like they have the entrepreneurial spirit, because it's not for everyone, right? It's not for everyone. But if you have the spirit, and you're tired of the 9 to 5, I think you should just take a chance on it. And see what it feels like to not have a paycheck coming in 2 weeks. See how hard you work. See how hard you hustled in when there's no check coming in 30 days. Like, yeah, see how hard you work. And once you can get a check or a living or someone pay you for your services, boom. That's all you need is that one paycheck that you earn on your own, and you good. Like, it's literally, that's and then I also answered other questions about the mentorship. So that is something that I do. I do have mentees that I mentor on like the realtor side. So these are new agents that are looking to become realtors, but I'm kind of pivoting to only mentoring investors and people that want to start investing because I don't know. It's just it's more of where my passion is, and I don't believe in doing something if my heart is not in it. So as far as the investing side, and I really think that teaching people how to become investors, how to build passive income in real estate, is something I'm very passionate about. And hopefully soon I'll be starting a formal type of mentorship program around it.
Nice.
Okay.
And I will have a mentorship program coming up soon. I am working on like the build out and the structure of that, but anybody, I don't know if there's anybody, I'm pretty sure somebody's out there watching, but if you keep track of our website at mychocolatefilms.com, there's a mentor button down there, but it has not been published yet, but it's coming within the next 60 days.
Nice. I got one last one. We're gonna get out of here. What do y'all see yourselves in the next 5 to 10 years?
I don't think I have time. We don't have time.
Hopefully in 10, I'm no longer working. I'm retired and I'm just island hopping. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Hopefully I build enough passive income in real estate and my development companies and everything like that. And I'm not even working there anymore. I'm gonna keep it real. So I'm 36, 46. I'm trying to be full time and just living my life and not really working like that. Like maybe consulting, something like that. But this life is so short. I'm not about to work till I'm 60 something. Absolutely not. So I got, about 10 years. I want to be retired and just passively living, mentoring, consulting, and, my kids will all be, I have a 5-year-old, so he'll be almost grown. It's going, 10 years. Yeah, I'm trying to be done. But hopefully,
And Melody,
I will accomplish all my goals and everything like that.
and Melody, I want you to give your final thoughts for the evening. Your final thoughts, and then we're gonna put your social
My
media up and
final
all that
thoughts.
stuff.
My final thoughts are just to believe in yourself, trust your intuition, and whatever you want to do, whatever your business idea is, even if you work a 9 to 5, like become the expert in that. So whatever it is you're passionate about, trucking, tech, whatever it is, whatever your thing is, become the expert in that. So that if anybody mentions it in normal conversation, you can talk about that for 30. I can literally sit here and talk about real estate for another 2 hours with no problem, not looking anything up because I'm very passionate about it. So whatever it is you want to do, become the expert in it. And, with wisdom, people are more than likely willing to pay for that. So, my Instagram is at Melanie Little Life. Yeah, back, and thanks for having me on. It was nice meeting everyone. If you guys ever want to connect with me in real estate, please don't be afraid to reach out.
Thank you, Melody. Sean Q, final thoughts, and what do you see yourself in? First, what do you see yourself in 10 years, and then your final thought. Can't hear you, Sean. I can't hear you, Sean. I can't hear you. Sean, I can't hear you. Can y'all? I can't hear Sean. Can y'all hear him?
No.
Mm-mm.
So we're gonna
Maybe
come to
go
Clover.
to the.
We'll come back. We'll come back to you, Sean. Clover, where do you see yourself in 10 years and your final thought?
So in 10 years, I see myself as a HBO, a Showtime, Tyler Perry. I see myself on those levels, providing opportunity to our community, helping our community break barriers, getting into the acting world, film world, working for themselves. And final thoughts. I say believe in yourself, but over that, have faith. Have faith, faith over fear. And if you're looking to be an entrepreneur, just do it. Stop thinking about it because you're going to psych yourself out. You're going to talk yourself out of it. Just do it. Those are my final thoughts.
And shout out to social media and everything, and your movie and all that good stuff.
Yes, I'm sorry. So my I'm so humble. So my IG page.
People know about that series. Come on now.
I know. Okay, so at My Chocolate Films is the film page. At Hopeless Romantic _ the series is our series page. We are currently streaming on Tubi, so y'all please go check us out. It's Hopeless Romantic. On Tubi, season 1 is currently streaming. We just wrapped up season 2 for Hopeless Romantic production. So be on the lookout for that, probably towards the end of this year or first of next year, 2025.
All right. Thank you, Clover. Rachel, where you see yourself in 10 years and your final thoughts?
So in 10 years, I definitely want to be primarily, teaching, doing workshops. I started doing a lot more of that this year, but just really sharing a lot more of my experiences, being able to give people like real lived entrepreneurial advice, and having more flexibility on and freedom just to travel and do different things. Final thought is just do whatever it is you need to do to build confidence in yourself and your business. Do that. If you feel like, okay, I don't know enough about a certain area, make sure, take the class, take the course, whatever, because the biggest thing of showing up in your business is to have a confidence for it. A lot of times we talk ourselves out of doing certain things because we feel like we're not qualified. But, whatever it is, that's going to get you to that point where, you can show up fully, do that. And then also just build relationships, tap into key relationships, and tap out of relationships too. When it's time to part and cut, separate and cut ways, do so amicably. You don't have to burn bridges, but just when it's time to tap in and you feel aligned, go all in. But when it's time to tap out, tap out.
Thank you, Rachel. And shout your business stuff out real quick and your IG and all that.
Yeah, so my business website is rosemintmedia.com. Rosemint Media across all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and then my page is Rose Gold Rach on Instagram.
Thank you, Rachel. And Sean, I'm gonna come back to you. Are you ready this time?
Oh, can y'all hear me this time?
Yes, sir.
All right. I apologize for technical difficulties. But final words was please chase your dreams. Don't let anything hold you back. Especially don't waste time chasing somebody else's dream. That's the main thing, and that what was holding me back. I was too scared to jump out there in the field, and once I finally did, it's been nothing but blessings ever since. Chase your dreams because they won't chase you. Have a plan. That was another one of my biggest problems. I didn't have a plan, but always have a plan and execute, man. Just execute. And that's pretty much it. If you want to find me, you can find my personal and acting page at that's _Sean Q on Instagram. For all my photography and videography work is at 1000 Word Productions. And you can also go to my website, 1000wordproductions.com. And thank you guys for having me back again. It's been a wonderful, wonderful time.
Hey, Sean, real quick, what do you see yourself in 10 years?
Oh, in 10 years, man, I want 1000 Word Productions to be on autopilot where I don't have to be there every day. I'm not the only cameraman, which I'm not now. We hire out a lot of contractors and stuff for a lot of the work that we do. But I just want this thing to be on autopilot, taking care of me and my family.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you. I want to thank everybody for coming on tonight. You guys did wonderful. I'm hoping everybody that's watching this now and we watched the rebroadcast have learned something about being an entrepreneur. All you guys to think about dabbing out into that water. You heard from these guys. You heard some of their successes, some of their failures. You heard what it takes to do this. If you're ready to do it, you heard some encouraging words. So, with that being said, if you ever want to be on this show, you can reach out to myself on Facebook, Edmund Chapman, or you can reach out to Sheena Nicole on Facebook, or you can reach out to Kyra. She's also on Facebook every now and then. But again, you can reach out to myself, Edmund Chapman, or Sheena Nicole on Facebook. Also, we're looking for sponsors. If you would like to sponsor this show, you can reach out to Sheena Nicole on Facebook also, or you can email me at eddieed30@gmail.com. Again, you can email me at eddieed30@gmail.com. Last but not least, we have a blind dating show coming up, y'all. If you would like to be on our blind dating show, it's called
I appreciate
Datum. I don't know what that was, but that wasn't it. It's called Datum or Ditchum. So if you'd like to be on that, be on the lookout for that. As always, like I say, every time we end the show, I love you. God loves you. Go out and be great on purpose. Peace out, everybody.